things always seem to be in fluctuation and always changing. Seems to be kind of a fundamental process of the universe so far that at least I can feel kind of influencing me, right? Things are always changing, nothing's ever the same. But sometimes I find myself having very enlightened moments where all of the peace comes in, full presence comes in, full access to all these other kinds of informations, feelings, and dimensions of myself that are always taking place, but finally my awareness can see it. Sometimes I have moments like this. Sometimes it's often, and lately that's been the case. So in this video, what I wanted to do is explain to you the top 3 steps towards a more enlightened kind of way of life and being and state of being. Welcome back to Vibes and Frequencies. I'm Nathan, and I make videos to help people to be the most powerful expression of themselves. And I hope you don't mind, but I really need to wear sunglasses in this video. I think it's rude to wear sunglasses, like when you're trying to talk to somebody, but anyways. So the first thing that I want to say in this video is that what is true to you is going to be what is resonant of who you are right now. Just like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, things are always changing and our perspectives will always be as well. So who am I? Well, I'm a person who's been totally infatuated with spirituality and totally giving it all of myself and all the dimensions of me for the last year. But remember that there's a lot of people in the world who've been doing this their whole lives. So just keep that in mind, you know what I'm saying? So the very first thing, the very first step towards a more enlightened way of living is to listen. To listen. And I'll explain what I mean by this, because right now it just is kind of like, listen? What you talking about, man? Well, here's what I'm talking about. A lot of times we are listening, but we are listening to our mind. We're listening to thoughts, voices. We're listening to our feelings. We are listening to our emotions. We're listening to ourself. We're listening to ourself. So the very first, most important step towards a more enlightened way of living, a more enlightened state to find yourself in and have these kinds of present moments coming into you, is to listen not to yourself, which I know sounds counterintuitive, but to listen to life instead. To listen to life. And here's why. Because life is you. All is one. And in an enlightened state, you don't just know this, you feel it, and you are it. All is one. We are all one. We are a collective organism. There is no separation between any of us. There is no separation between anything that is taking place in life, experience-wise, physically, whatever. There is no separation. All of it is one. So when you listen to life, what you're really doing is you're letting go of your ego, because that is what yourself actually is. This is your ego. A lot of times people think of ego as it's when you're walking around thinking you're so awesome. This is an expression of ego, but ego is anything you do with your person. This is my ego. Nathan is my ego. And I'm not going to spend too much time discussing this because I got a whole video coming out about the different layers of ego this upcoming Thursday, so make sure to stay tuned for that one. But essentially, your higher self, as many people in the spiritual community on YouTube like to call it, your higher self has already created everything for you. It's so tapped in. It's so tuned in to the truth and magic of reality. For us to be walking through life thinking that this person that we are needs to do everything, needs to control everything, needs to think, needs to understand, needs to feel, needs to reach out and touch, all of these things aren't actually necessary. They are possibilities that we can do if we choose to, and if we find excitement and joy in that, then that's great. But the truth is that if you listen to life instead of listening to yourself, you're actually listening to a much higher dimension of yourself, is a way to explain it, right? You can actually hear what you're really, truly saying, who you really, truly are. And I am going to offer some strategies for this in next Thursday's video, so we're going to continue on. Number 2, the number 2 step towards enlightened living is to let go. Look at that, 2 L's. Listen. and let go. Oh my gosh, don't fall, whiteboard. If I let go, it'll fall. Let go. Now this is really profound, and this one really comes in with this as well, because you are life. You are the universe. We are each other. We are everything taking place. And the experience that we're having, so much of the pain and the struggle and the confusion and the inability to find ourselves connected, and the the path that we find ourselves on where we're just like, oh, this is not who I am. This does not feel right with me. It doesn't resonate. You know, what's going on? It's because we're trying to control. We're living from the ego. Letting go is another very powerful step that we can do to align ourselves with the universe, to align ourselves with this enlightened state of the oneness, the one single organism, the everything connected. And the fact that we don't actually have to do anything. There's nothing that you need to do in your life to create a path towards what it is that you hope for, or that you have faith that you are bringing to yourself. For example, if we're talking about, let's go ahead and say that your idea is that you are on a path to enlightenment. I'm just using this example because it's relevant to the video. Let's say this is your goal. Your goal is on a path toward enlightenment. Believing that your person needs to do a bunch of things, and needs to do all this stuff, needs to shave their head and go and sit somewhere and do nothing for years and years and years. Now, I'm not dissing this practice. I'm not. I can't speak to it because I have not shaved my head and done this. But a lot of this is ego telling us that there are these certain things that we need to do to achieve a certain state of being. It's not true. That state of being is right here, right now. Removing yourself from where you are right now to put yourself in a new situation is actually counterintuitive, because what we want to do is realize ourselves in this moment, not to create ourselves to be somebody who is going to find themselves in the moment, but to be in the moment right now as who we are. And we can do this by letting go. We don't need to control. We don't need to create things. You got this. On that higher level, you got this. You got your back. Life is unfolding in a much more magical and beautiful way than you actually might know or think, because you're thinking and knowing from your ego, your person. But your person isn't the other aspects of you that is actually creating the magicalness that is your reality. That's not your ego. Your ego is the avatar in the video game that you're playing in this reality that you've already created on that higher level. And you would only create something for yourself that you truly wanted to experience. So if we're living from our person and we're living from that perspective, then a lot of times we're going to take ourselves down paths and experiences and things that aren't actually in alignment with who we are or what we really want for ourselves. We are bringing into our lives what our ego wants, not what we really want. So if we surrender and we let go, we'll find ourselves being totally blessed by the gift that is us. And this God presence, it just really comes in when we let go and we listen to life, right? Now, here's the third one, is to trust. Now, as you can see, these are all tied together, right? You could easily see how these are all things that are incorporated with one. And, you know, listen to life. Let go of yourself, because that is listening to life. And to trust. Trust what? Trust in life. Trust in life. Trust in the universe. Trust in you. You can trust. You can. And you may have had many experiences in your life, I know that I personally have, that have made you feel like you can't trust, that you can't let go, and that you can't listen to life. Life doesn't know what it's talking about. That's failed you all the times in the past. No. This is a misperception. This is us seeing it from a certain kind of perspective, and all truths are true. And so when you see something a certain way, that is the way that it is for you. It's real to you. But there is a new perspective that we can adopt to bring us towards that more enlightened living, and it's to trust. We don't have to do all this stuff, right? We can let go. We can trust that our higher self, dimensional, God, whatever you want to explain this as, has got it, okay? We don't need to control these things. We can enjoy the ride. We can enjoy the fact that we're here. We can listen to life, and we can trust that we can listen to life. And most importantly, just trust in general. Trust, faith, These are incredibly powerful influences that will actually enable you to manifest all of the things in your life that you might be going for right now, that maybe just have felt out of reach. But if you trust and you let go and you listen, they all come to you. Because now you are the vibration of it. When we want something so bad and we believe that we've got to do all these things to get it, we're pushing it away. Our ego's pushing it away and creating this whole painful mess for us in the process. When in fact, we could just trust. It's coming anyways. I used to give 1,000,000% of myself to my YouTube videos. Is all I thought about. When I would wake up in the middle of the night, I would wake up out of a dream where I was thinking about making YouTube videos. That is the ridiculousness of it. It was everything. All I would ever do is think about YouTube videos. I thought I had to sit there, constantly make sure I respond to every single person's comment, make sure I do all these hashtags correctly. I got to sit there and plan for hours my YouTube video. No, I don't have to do any of that. I don't have to anymore. Guess how much of myself I give to my YouTube videos now? Absolutely nothing. Because I don't have to. I don't have to. YouTube videos are something that it just is happening. It just happens because it's the universe and reality unfolding for me. This is part of my story that I'm experiencing. My person doesn't have to fight to keep this going. I've completely let go. I don't even think about making YouTube videos anymore. I don't even care anymore. I'm simply present, listening to life and the universe. And if the life and the universe ever speak to me outside of my ego, not a thought, but a truth that is fundamentally existing, if that ever comes in and speaks to me and says, Nathan, no more making YouTube videos, well then I'm sorry, but I'll bid you goodbye, because I'm listening to life, not Nathan. I'm not listening to Nathan, I'm listening to life. I'm letting go of feeling that Nathan needs to create, needs to do all of these things to have success and happiness in life. It's not true. Success and happiness is right now when you let go. And to trust. And to trust. So, these are the top 3 steps towards a more enlightened life as of a perspective that I have right now. And things are always changing. Things are always fluctuating. I would love to hear from you what you think is the most important step that has led you towards a more enlightened path. And those moments that come in that we can all relate to, where you just sit down and it's, oh my gosh. We can live life. We can live life, and we can live it so good. Once again, my name is Nathan. I do make videos 3 days a week, so if you'd like to subscribe, that would definitely be cool. And that means that you'll make it to next Thursday's video, all about the different layers of ego, and that's gonna have a lot in it. And I'm really excited about it. So thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Let go, listen, trust, and just be. Now, an exercise that you can do, this is a weird time to come in the video, but it's just coming in right now. What does this mean? How can you actually do these things? How can you actually incorporate these into your life? Sit down and just sit there. Just sit there. You could look around you, just take it all in. You could breathe, you could smell and taste the air. And more importantly, listen. And I know that that sounds strange, but just give it a try. Just listen. Just sit there and listen. Listen to the sounds that you hear and allow yourself to become it. Similar to when you listen to music and you allow it to take you and you all of a sudden, all you are is the song. That is exactly what I'm talking about, but do it with life, reality, the experience. The fact that you're even here able to perceive anything is complete magic. Listen to that. That's what we're listening to. That's the song that you want to put on repeat and let it just keep going. So I'll see you guys for my next video. Much love to you. Talk to you soon. Bye.